Well, welcome back. Yeah, indeed. So glad to have you. I've missed you. Where have you been? Oh my gosh. Lots of news. Lots of news. Well, maybe not lots of news. Simple news. But we'll get to it in just a second.
We're the streaming idiots, having the time. With Tom Sinclair guiding, we're feeling so fine. A vMix on the screen, we're ready to play. Custom built PCs, taking tech to the fray. Making live production feel like a breeze. Got the rhythm pumping, we do it with ease. From setups to transitions, we're flying high. In the world of streaming, we're touching the sky. Streaming idiots, we're living the dream. With tech support in the mix, we're a winning team. Tom Sinclair's a man, Tom Sinclair's a man, bringing us live in our biggest adventure. The future is bright. Lights, camera, action, the stage is set. From podcasts to webinars, we're never upset. Tech at our fingertips, the power so real. Loading up the content, let the viewers feel. Building connections, we're breaking the mold. Every frame a story, every tale told. In this vibrant world, we're living with flair. Streaming idiots unite, let's take it from streaming idiots. Streaming idiots, we're living the dream. Living the dream. We take support in the mix. Oh, we're a winning team. Tom Sinclair's a man. Tom Sinclair's a man, bringing us live in our biggest adventure. The future is bright. We got tips and tricks all wrapped in a show. And our extra fun, let the good times flow. From sports to the arts, we're taking the lead. With vMix by our side, there's nothing we need. Troubleshooting smoothly, no hassle or fuss. In the world of tech, we're igniting the buzz. Streaming idiots, we're living the dream. With support in the mix, we're a winning team. Tom Sinclair's a man. Tom Sinclair's a man, bringing us live in our biggest adventure. The future is bright. So here's to the journey. Let's raise a toast for Tom Sinclair and the team we love most. Streaming idiots.
Okay. Long time no see. Holy cow. I missed you guys and gals. Let me lock my seat. Otherwise, I'll rock. So, a lot's been going on. A lot has been going on in silence. You know, what is that they say about still waters run deep? Well, in this case, silence means there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And yeah, that's what today's show is about. So I don't really want to get into the show part of the show in the pre-show, but yeah. So for those of you that went to NAB, hope you had a spectacular time, made lots of new friends, learned lots of new things, and came back and shared them at home with all your old friends. I did not get to go this year and missed it greatly. As much, you know, after you've been there a couple of years, or even after the first year, frankly, you make some friends. You get to meet some of the people that you've either heard about or you've been talking to or emailing with or messaging with or whatever. And you get to meet them and hang out with them a little bit and say, wow, you know, these are really cool folks. I like them. I can't wait to see them again. And then you go back to NAB again. It's like going to summer camp. It's like going to summer camp, except it's not in the summer, it's in the spring. And it's not at camp, it's at Las Vegas. But highly commended. Audio's a little low, we'll work on that. Easiest thing to do is to add a little gain to it because that's right here in front of me. What about that? Is that too much? Thank you, Jesper. And let's see, let's get back to this other screen. There we go. Morning, Joe. It's actually, it's not morning for me, and it's not morning for you, depending on where you are. You could be in Australia, and it could be still early in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hey, Jono. Good to see you. Glad to have you. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, just talking about summer camp. Summer camp for techs and geeks and live streaming people. I was going to say nerds, but that's not really, that's kind of it's not nice. Let's put it that way. It's not nice. So live streaming, the cool people that live stream. How about that? There you go. So yeah, it's like summer camp for the cool people that live stream. And then there are a bunch of other people there that you don't know and you don't really care about what they do. I mean, it's nothing personal. It's just that, you know, big network gear, whatever it might be, is not something that you are interested in or need to know. But it's been a treat to go to NAB over the years and get to know folks. Jono was at Bird Dog at one point and interviewed me on a podcast from the Bird Dog booth. Teeny little booth, as I recall. They're much, much bigger now. Joe with Central Control has been a longtime supporter of this channel. And prior to that, he and I would debate when he was 14 and I was, 72. Debate about Wirecast and VidBlaster and such. And I think we've both moved on. And it's been a good thing. I think everybody should attend at least once. And I do feel the same thing about the show in Amsterdam too, whose name escapes me for the moment. Was only able to go once, but it was really a treat and an opportunity to meet so many folks that so many of my European friends that I had never met in person before. And so that was a treat. That was a treat. And Martin Steed has been on my heart a lot lately. And IBC, thank you, Jesper. Yes, indeed. And I got a chance to meet him in person at IBC and go bowling and just hang out. And it was just a real treat. Such a fine fellow. I'm so sorry that we lost him in COVID. Anyway. What else is going on? What else is going on? I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they said, do you think vMix will ever make a version for the Mac or Linux? They said. I said, I wouldn't make future plans around it. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't. It's not a rumor that I have heard. It's not a rumor of a rumor that I've heard. Not that I'm going to be the one to hear rumors firsthand. I'm the 10th in the chain, or worse. But that one's not happening. Last week, was it just last week? No, it was the week before. I had an opportunity to work with a client again that I worked with in 2019. 2019? Yeah, 2019. Built them a system for vMix, and it just stopped working the other day. It was having all sorts of problems, and this was actually about a month ago. It would just crash during it would just crash during the broadcast when they were doing the Sunday morning broadcast, and I remoted into it and was not able to. We got a little back channel conversation. We may need to get Joe on soon. Anyway, I was remoting in and couldn't get the system to update. It wouldn't update itself, and it would pretend to do a Windows 11 update, but it didn't ever. And finally, I said, it's not working for you. Bring it to me. They just live 50 miles away, so they brought it to me, and basically, Windows had just gotten garbled and gotten corrupted, and it wouldn't update itself, and it wouldn't update to Windows 11. And so this was Windows 10. And so we did a reset, and that seemed to break everything loose. 7-year-old system. I think it was an i9 9900K or X, don't remember. But it had a 8-port DeckLink Quad 2 card in it. They were doing lots of cameras. Actually, they weren't doing lots of cameras. They bought it to do lots of cameras, and I don't think it ever did. So it's, yeah. Anyway, we fixed it, sent it back to them. Everybody was happy. Let's start the show, shall we? We got a show starter here somewhere. Show start, there it is. Sit tight. Yo, baby, yo. So glad to have you here on the show. Didn't even intend that. It just kind of came out that way. So, welcome back. We've taken a little break for a while, but we're back. We are back. We are back, and meaner than ever. The reason that I've been gone is we have been in the process. You can't really tell. Well, you maybe can. There's nothing behind me now. We're in the process of closing down the studio, closing down the workshop, and splitting it all up and moving it different places. And I was in the workshop this morning, and it reminded me of a video that the World of Live Streaming guys did 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Yeah, something like that. And Martin Steed was in it. That's why Martin's name came to my mind. And Martin was doing one of his famous vMix call remotes from out in the middle of nowhere. And he was at a container, and they did audio as if I was running this show from inside that container. I looked for it this morning. I couldn't find it. So if you happen to find it, drop a link in the chat, or go onto the Facebook group, Streaming Idiots Facebook group, and drop a link there. It's really funny. But I thought about that when I thought about it being time to let you guys know what was going on with me. And so I have done this little video, and let's see, I'm going to give it, yeah, it's already got a little bit of gain. Oh, not that one. Let's do this other one. This video right here. Hold on a second. I'm going to put just a little bit of gain in it. All right. So here it is. This is the new. Yeah. Anyway, hang on. All right. We are now. Yes, we are here at our secret headquarters. This is the new Streaming Idiots, not the studio, but the workshop. We've got all our, most of our gear here. We're still moving some of it. But yeah, this is where the magic happens. And it's happening every day. And never stops happening. Day after day after day after day. No, just this is going to be a good setup. Basically, the idea is that we move the workshop here to our storage area, and move the office portion back to my home. And so far as studio is concerned, well, maybe a little bit here, a little bit there. We'll just have to wait and see how that comes out. So, anyway, back to the live show. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So that's the idea. We have moved to a storage locker. And it is it's large. It's not, it's never big enough, but it's big enough. And it allows me a separate place to build systems. Unfortunately, it doesn't. It has air conditioning and heating, so it's one of those climate control units. And you saw the door come up. Right, that door is right next to an exterior door. And right at the corner between the exterior door and the door to my unit is an electrical outlet. So while I'm there, I've got all the electricity I need. So the next thing to figure out is how to get internet into this metal shell, metal walls, metal ends, metal roof. Can't really get internet in there too well, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Cheaper internet flooding problem. The studio here, the landlord has raised the rent again. When I moved in here, I don't know, 5 years ago, the rent was $500. Now it's up over $900. And I've just said, that's just too much. I don't, it's not a matter of me being able to pay it or not, although I don't like paying it. It's just the principle of the thing. And I just don't want to reward people for raising rents like that. So I've got this little building, this little storage unit for $125 a month. And when I started this whole rigmarole, the whole Streaming Idiots, Eastern Shore Broadcasting, YouTube stuff, yeah, Eastern Shore Broadcasting right down there, which the website is down right now. Anyway, we're working on that. I was doing it out of the house to begin with. Had an extra bedroom, converted the bedroom into a studio. and then used the hallway outside the bedroom to build computers on, and then migrated into the dining room. And that's when Sandy said, I mean, that was probably a year, maybe two. And then Sandy said, nope, you are not taking over my house with all of your stuff. I said, but dear, this is good stuff. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. So I found this place and moved in here and was able to kind of spread out. And, you know, it's like anything else. The more you spread out, the more stuff you get, the more stuff you get, the more stuff you want, the more stuff you want, the more stuff you have. And it's not big stuff. It's just little piece parts, this and that and the others. And I've done a good job of keeping it organized. And so I've moved it, as you can tell, to this other location. Let's see if we can just, can we make this go live? Hold on a second. 1 second here. Don't want to play, but we do want to pause. And we can back it up just a tad. Yeah, we'll go right there. And so it's got room for storage. It's got one of what will be two workbenches. And then, you know, it's big storage of big things to the right. And then deeper in are shelves to store piece parts. And as you can see, I've got boxes on the floor that I haven't put away yet. And I'm not through moving. I'm not through moving out of this space yet. So when I move out of this space, some of that will go there, but some of it will go back to the old studio in the house, which will be fun. Michael Graves says, try T-Mobile's 5G device. No contract, cheap, performs well if the tower is not too far. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know what the storage unit is on the edge of town, which I know my wife has AT&T, and AT&T doesn't do well there. I have Verizon. I seem to have pretty good service there, but I'm not sure how T-Mobile, I guess I could get it, you know, and try it. Probably need to set it outside when I'm using it so that it can get a signal outside. Because I don't think I mean, sometimes my phone calls just drop from inside. Anyway, that's a great idea, Michael. I appreciate it. Michael Quist says, remember live surveillance. Roof looks easy to get through. That's a good point. All of the hallways just outside of this room have video cameras. And then there are video cameras on the outside corners of each one of the buildings. I think there are maybe 8 buildings, and I'm in one all the way in the far end. My neighbors are the high school and the FFA club of the high school, I think, Future Farmers of America, because there are about a dozen goats in not a little, but a big pen between me and the high school. So we'll see. If you listen carefully, you don't hear the diesels anymore in the background. Well, I'm not there now, but if you were there, you would hear little goats. So this is the next step, as it were. This is the next step, as it were. And this will be a good step. This will be a good step. Right now, I've got a contract for 4 systems with a Fortune 500 company. And once I finish that, I'll take a deep breath and do something. I don't know. Finish moving into this spot, for sure. For sure. So Michael's quiz, so far as security is concerned, I feel pretty comfortable there. The lock that's on the door is my lock. I have the only keys to it. Anybody that would try to break in there would have gotten into the gate with a gate code and would have been on video surveillance, at least supposedly. And, you know, I talked with my insurance company, and if it's anything that I personally own, which I own all that stuff, my homeowner's insurance policy covers it all. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. Flood might be a little bit of an issue, but we're kind of at the high point and the low point is way back that way. So I like that. And then, the next challenge is really going to be internet. If I can get internet there, I can do everything I need to do there. Michael Graves says, a similar space here in Houston runs $500 a month. Excuse me, $400. Ouch. Ouch. I'm sure there are more expensive places here, especially as you get closer to our little teeny downtown area. I mean, our population is 25,000, but it's a lot of little teeny houses. Expensive teeny houses. Expensive teeny houses. If you want, I can talk with you about setting up cheap mobile bonding for most stable, faster internet. That would be interesting. Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do. I gave my car to my grandson for his 16th birthday. It was a 12-year-old Ford Escape. So he has it now, and I don't. So I replaced it with the truck version of the Ford Escape, which is a Ford Maverick. And the Maverick that I got the Maverick because I can tow it. That was one of the reasons. The Maverick that I got came with a 7-year premium internet package, which means the car can act as a hotspot for anybody that's within Wi-Fi distance. And so my thought was I'll try to somehow use the car as a hotspot. I know Wi-Fi won't pass through the metal, but if I can get, and I've got one of those little Wi-Fi routers that can pick up a Wi-Fi signal and transfer it into an Ethernet cable. If I can get the car to give me a good enough signal, and I can put the router just outside the door, maybe on a tripod or something like that, with Ethernet cable that just kind of comes under the door. It's pretty flaky, pretty sketchy. If you ask me, it's just sketchy. But what the heck? If it works, it works. But Michael, I will reach out to you like that. DJ Meantime 69, welcome, glad to have you. Wireless bridge. Yes, I actually have a wireless bridge set up here. And it is Ethernet wireless to Ethernet. And the car doesn't have an Ethernet jack. Maybe I could figure out how to do one. Michael Graves says, after Hurricane Beryl, I used T-Mobile's 5G while Comcast was down. Huh. All right. That is a thing. It's nice to have options. It's nice to have options. Okay, we're going to make a note of T-Mobile because T-Mobile may be the thing. It's Eric from Albany in Savannah. T-Mobile. Eric, how you doing? So, is anybody else besides Michael Graves doing the T-Mobile 5G? Like a little tower thing? Are they doing it differently now? I think they did that at my church because the AT&T fiber was going to cost, they had to bring it to the building, and that was going to be frightfully expensive. Jesper says, what about Starlink? That's an idea. That's an idea I hadn't considered. That would be really cool. What I need is something that is, it would be great if it was portable like that. Then you could switch Starlink to wherever you were. If I'm traveling or camping or something like that, I could have Starlink. I like that idea. Michael Quist, Starlink. I've got 2 suggestions on that. Expensive. How expensive is expensive? I'm a cheapskate. I am like, don't give me anything. I mean, give me everything. Don't make me pay for it. Although I do like to have the nicest of the things in the area. If it's if it's a mouse, I want the nice mouse. Although this is probably the cheap mouse. Hello, Gunnar. Welcome. Glad you're here. Michael Quist said, the small one can sit on the roof of the truck. And doesn't it need what the southern, doesn't it point to the southern hemisphere? No, I'm thinking about satellite. Starlink would point to anywhere my Starlink satellites would be. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. My monthly gigabyte needs would be minimal. I mean, you think I'm going to be, if I'm setting up computers, I'm going to be I'll install Windows. I've got disks already made for that, but I need to update. So I need to update Windows. Occasionally I need to download drivers. I need to activate Windows. I need to activate vMix. None of those really is going to take a lot of gigs, I don't think. I mean, depends on how many computers I'm building at a time, obviously. The more I build, the more gigs I'm using. Interesting. Eric says his T-Mobile has connectors for external antennas. Oh. So we could put the antennas outside and not the whole T-Mobile unit. Michael Graves, what do you have? Eric Michael Graves has T-Mobile too. External connectors for external unit. Michael Quist says there's a board about 50 gigs per month between cheap and more expensive. Okay. I don't think I'd use 50 gigs unless I started watching a bunch of videos, which I am prone to do when I'm waiting for something else to update and something else to update over here. I'll shoot on the internet real quick and catch up a YouTube video. So I could do a couple of external antennas with magnets on them. So I could just I could magnetize it. I could put them on via magnetic power, excuse me, outside, and then just snake the antenna through the doorway. That's interesting. And then I can put the antennas as high as I want. Well, if it's T-Mobile, oh, you guys given me all sorts of great ideas. So I could do that with the T-Mobile antenna, or I could do that with a Wi-Fi antenna and use the internet access point from my truck. That's worthy of trying. It would be nice to be able to distribute that within the studio. I'm going to flip back to this picture for just a second. And you see the workbench there, and you see that black thing coming down from the ceiling on the far left. That's an AC line. And it just travels, from high up the wall to down the wall. I wonder if I could snake an antenna out that AC opening and just leave it up there and nobody would notice it. All right, Eric's got the T-Mobile G4AR 5G gateway modem router, TMO G4AR. That doesn't mean anything to me, but it might mean something to Michael Graves. I don't know. All right, I'm reading back, and Michael Graves says his T-Mobile 5G device is small, has onboard Wi-Fi and 4 Ethernet jacks, and can have an external antenna. All right, Michael Quist says, Google AI said these are the prices in the USA for mobile, roam, travel, Plans roam 100 gigs, $50 a month. That's not bad. 100 gigs high-speed data for travelers. Roam unlimited, $165 a month. Unlimited data regional or global travel. Yeah, so if I was traveling, that would make sense. What I've found in traveling is that a lot of, let me get back up here 1 second. A lot of the campgrounds that we stay at have Wi-Fi. And my phone has Wi-Fi. I mean, everything has Wi-Fi. Golly gee. Randy Finley, welcome Randy Finley. Joining late. Still having issues with NDI and Defender firewall. Getting better. A little question I may be calling. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes these networks can be kind of selfish about who they let in and out. All right. Let's see. Let me go back in time here just a second. Okay. Well, Eric says that's the model number of the router. Michael Graves says Mint Mobile offers the same service but a bit cheaper. Aha. And Michael Quist says, I think there's a limit on the length of cable to Wi-Fi antennas. Oh. Well, let's ask. Wi-Fi antenna, Length max. Okay, Google AI says, there is no strict maximum physical length for a Wi-Fi antenna. As bigger does not mean more sensitive once the antenna exceeds roughly half the wavelength. So 6 centimeters for 2.4 gigahertz. Instead, the limit depends on cable signal loss. Using low loss cable can run cables 50 feet, but 10 to 20 feet is recommended to avoid losing all signal gain. Well, I am inside 10 feet. I mean, here in this picture, boom. You see to the left side of the picture some conduit coming down, and there's a light switch in that conduit, and that's where the door is. And if I went up the AC line, we'd be talking 8 feet. So that might work. That might work. You guys are smart. You guys are smart. Do any of y'all work in this industry? I'm just wondering. Oh my gosh. All right, great ideas. Let's see what Amazon's got for. Hold on a second here. Do we have a desktop capture? I think we do. Let's go with the desktop capture for just a second. And let's go to Amazon. There we go. And we want to look at a Wi-Fi antenna cable. What do we got? 12 inches, 12 inches, 10 feet. There we go, 10 feet. Doesn't say how far it is, but it doesn't look very far. 6 inches, 3 feet. Low loss for 3 feet. 3.5 feet. Oh, here's a long one. 20 feet for $14. Holy cow. 20 feet. There it is. We'll bookmark that one for later. Yep. Bookmark that one for later. Eric says, I have a 25-foot 4x4 MIMO SMA cable. All right. How did that compare with what we were just looking at here? SMA Okay. $20 compatible, blah, 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 blah. The connector. Well, it doesn't have all of the special words in it, like memo. Is memo important? M-I-M-O? Or is that the one you have? M-I-M-O. Let's find out what that is. I'll just ask you guys. I mean, as opposed to looking it up, I'll just ask you. That's much easier. That's what I do with Sandy. I forget some. Sandy, when are we going to this party? I've told you 6 times before. All right, Michael Quist says that M-I-M-O is important. Tim, welcome, Tim. Glad you're here. Hey, Scott. Multi-in, multi-out. Well, Eric's got 4 25-foot cables for 4 antennas. Huh. I don't think I've got that little Wi-Fi guy here. It's at home. It's one of the things I moved out of here because I didn't need it. So the idea would be to get a cables to antennize that I can leave there, kind of hidden, kind of customized to look like they were supposed to be there somehow. Yeah. Okay, so Eric's got 4 25-foot cables for 4 antennas for his T-Mobile box. I think my little Wi-Fi router, see, I'm trying to do this for $10. But if I can't do it for $10, I could do it for free, says Michael Graves, with the T-Mobile. And then, of course, I'd have to pay a monthly fee. Well, yeah, that's it. That's it. Multi-in, multi-out. Is that important, or is that standard? I mean, is everything multi-in, multi-out, or is that just like a gold star feature, multi-in, multi-out, as opposed to single in, single out? I don't know. Is this multiple bandwidths? So we're thinking, 2.4 or 5 or whatever some of the new ones are. I don't know. It could be all sorts of things. Huh. Okay. All right. We'll find out. Find out right now. M-I-M-O. Memo antenna. That'll work. Let's go AI. Uses multiple distinct elements within a single enclosure to send and receive separate data streams simultaneously. Significantly multiply data streams link stabilities for 4G, LTE, 5G cellular, and Wi-Fi routers. Okay, so let's see here. Eric says he has 4x4 MIMO cable. Okay, and 4x4 integrates 4 independent cross-polarized elements, delivers up to 30% speed boost over 2x2 systems, utilizing 4 concurrent spatial streams. And that, of course, is limited by your hardware. Matches high-end the 5G gateways. Gotcha. So the 2x2 is 2 antenna elements, budget-friendly cellular gateways, hotspots, routers with 2 external antenna ports. Okay, that's where I want to start, because that can be had for that amount. Boom, right there. And I can get it by Friday. Woohoo. This is good. This is good stuff. You guys are smart. You guys are smart. All right. Eric says, for best results, use the higher frequency 5G. Yeah. Okay. I have to see what my truck broadcasts. It may only broadcast 2.4. Michael Quist says, if the antenna's on a good old gamer Wi-Fi router where you have 2 or more antennas. Oh, it's like the antennas on a good old gamer Wi-Fi router where you have 2 or more antennas. Think of how units send HDMI over Wi-Fi typically have more than 4 antennas. Bingo. Okay. Gotcha. My ideal situation would be to have multiple Ethernet ports available in the workshop so that I can work on more than one computer at a time online. But the Wi-Fi could be really slow. Well, you guys have given me a tremendous amount to think about. Oh, and Michael Quist says, if it's going outside, you'll need to waterproof it. IP65. IP65. Okay, we got to find IP65. IP65. What does that mean? That is an international standard indicating that an electrical enclosure is fully dust tight and protected against water jets from any direction. Ideal for outdoor, industrial, washdown environments, preventing rain, damage, snow, and dust ingress. Yeah, that would be interesting. Of course, you know, the Tom approach would be to stick it out there and, you know, through a little teeny weeny hole, just a big enough hole to get those little cable connectors through, and then just caulk it. Actually, it would be interesting to see the air conditioning pipe on the left side, right there next to the workbench, goes through the wall. I wonder what kind of protection that has, because that's already a hole in the wall. I wouldn't have to make a new hole in the wall, which of course, you know, I don't own the building, so I don't want to damage their building in any way. Whatever I do, I want to make it so that it can be taken apart later. All right, you guys are great. Let me check the calendar and see where we will be next week. Oops, that's not the calendar. There's the calendar. Today is the 13th. We're going to be here. We're going to be here for the next 3 weeks. And then I am taking my 2 oldest grandsons to Florida. They live in Florida, but I'm picking them up in Florida and taking them to Cape Canaveral, because we're hoping we can we'll have about a week, and we're hoping we can catch a launch from Cape Canaveral. My oldest grandson is a big rocket and space nut. He's the 16-year-old. And then his little brother, who is 12, he likes rockets too, but you know, he likes lots of things. So they're both fun. And the oldest one has gotten into the stock market. He saved a few dollars and he wants to invest in the stock market. And they call me Pop. So he's like, hey, Pop, what should I buy? And I said, stop, wait. Let's talk about how you do some research first. Let's wait for things to go on sale. That's the way your dad was brought up. Everything we got went on sale. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. And I will see you next week. I will see you next week. So yeah. So let's see. Where is the post show? The outro. Here we go. See you next week. Thanks for watching.